Subin and Lee Jae making a zombie movie together with the school students. At this time, Lee Jae also tells Subin, you should shoot the scenes too because your shooting has a completely different vibe. Later, Subin does exactly that. However, while filming, he keeps looking at Lee Jae and says to himself, I want to know everything about you. What kind of world is yours? What do you see in it? What do you like? But just then, the security guard arrives and catches them. In the next scene, we see the teacher punishing all the students and saying, why were you making a movie there? You should focus on your studies. But Lee Jae starts explaining, I'm perfect at this. I want to become a film director. However, the teacher hits her and doesn't listen to what she says. All of these scenes take place in 2011. In the next scene, we see both of them at the market. They shoot many things there as well. Subin packs some food for his mother. Lee Jae says, you're a good son. Subin asks, what about you? Lee Jae says that she doesn't have a good relationship with her mother. In the next scene, Lee Jae brings Subin to her mother's restaurant and secretly takes him to her underground room. Together, they watch the zombie movie they had made earlier. Lee Jae says, you shot everything really well. It's very good. Then Subin says, I don't want to become a doctor. I'm going to become a film director like you. I've decided. Lee Jae says, it won't be easy. It may take time. But Subin replies, I don't have any problem with that. Subin says, earlier, I didn't like movies. But because of you, I started liking them. Your world is very warm and funny. But Lee Jae says, it's a zombie world. Subin replies, no matter what kind of world it is, it has all those things. At night, we see Lee Jae in her room watching many videos of Subin. In the next scene, we see Subin running to catch the bus, and he manages to get on it. We find out that Subin is attending the Busan Youth Film Festival, where he wins the grand prize. He goes on stage and says, once, my mother told me that I could become anything. But honestly, I don't want to become anything. I only want to become a film director because that's what I was born to be. Then he is asked, is any member of your family here to congratulate you? He doesn't say anything. But just then, we see Subin arriving with flowers and congratulating him. In the next scene, both of them are at the beach. Lee Jae says, I have a secret. This is why I want to become a film director. Then she shows him her prize. Lee Jae says, when I was in 6th grade, I won my first prize, and that's when I decided to become a film director. Subin says, okay, but how is that a secret? Lee Jae replies, look how big my dream is, but I've only done a little so far. Subin says, everything starts with small steps. Just look at it this way. My feelings for you have become a dream. Lee Jae blushes and says, let's make a movie together. He agrees and lifts her up. Then both of them enjoy themselves in the water. At night, we see Subin arriving near his house. He notices that his father is beating his driver. He goes inside the house. His father is holding his bag. As Subin tries to pick it up, his father says, there is one rule in this house. There should be no room for mistakes. I will not tolerate it. Lee Jae also arrives at her house, but she sees her video cassettes lying outside. Her mother has thrown them out, and people are looking at them. Lee Jae shouts, they're mine. Lee Jae asks her mother, why are you doing this? Her mother says, this is all garbage. Throw it away. But Lee Jae says, don't do this. She shows her the prize and says, today I won a prize of 1 million won. I never asked you for anything. I never asked for money, nor did I ask you to send me abroad to study. At least let me do what I want. Her mother finally says, fine. But you can't keep these cassettes here. Take them to your room. At night, Subin is walking when he sees Lee Jae crying. He comes over and asks, what happened? But she doesn't tell him. Then both of them go to the beach. Lee Jae says, have you heard the story of the fox and the grapes? The fox saw the grapes and tried to get them, but later said they were sour and walked away. Subin replies, maybe they really were sour. Lee Jae says, whatever it was, at least he should have tried. Just look at me. If I want something, I get it, even if I have to die trying. Subin says, forget about dying. If you ever need anything, just call me. I'll come running for you. I'll be your shoulder. In the next scene, Lee Jae brings him to her house. They watch videos together. Then Lee Jae says, something is missing in this. It's romance. She tells Subin, we have to add romance. But before that, let's try it. Kiss me. She moves closer to kiss him, but Subin says, I can't do that because I'm your senior. Lee Jae replies, so what? I'm your senior too. Subin says, later, I won't be able to control myself. Lee Jae asks, what do you mean by control? However, he says, when both of us get admitted to film school, then I'll kiss you. But Lee Jae says, I don't have any problem with that because it's going to be our first kiss. In the next scene, we see many more moments where the two of them work on a movie together and complete the script. Then we return to the present, where Lee Jae is on her show dressed as a farmer. Just then, she finds out that Subin has arrived. Subin is holding flowers, which he gives to her. Lee Jae asks, what are you doing here? Then she asks producer Kang, why did you bring him here? Producer Kang says, he's a guest. He wanted to give you flowers. Lee Jae asks, did you come here to become a farmer? Subin replies, that depends on you. Lee Jae walks away. In the next scene, she talks to her colleague. Her colleague mentions Subin's first love and asks, who do you think it is? Do you know anything about it? Lee Jae denies it. But after some time, she says, it's all online. You can check it. Her colleague says, but you just said you didn't know. Lee Jae stays silent. The girls start taking pictures with Subin. Lee Jae is nearby watching all of this with different emotions. In the next scene, she is with Subin and asks him several questions that will be asked during the show, such as, why did you hide your name, Subin, and the most important question, why did you come here? Subin comes closer to Lee Jae and says, to see you. Lee Jae asks, where did all this begin? Subin says, you were talking to Yoojin on the phone, and I overheard your conversation. By the way, you look nervous. But she denies it. Then Subin says, you are. Every time you're nervous, you bite your lips with your teeth. If you keep doing that, they'll start bleeding. Then he starts leaving. Lee Jae quietly says, if you do anything wrong, just wait. I'll kill you. But it doesn't affect him at all. In the next scene, the show begins. Lee Jae first talks to her fans. Then she introduces Subin. She asks him several questions, and Subin answers all of them. She talks about the movie for which he recently received an award. Then she asks him, why did you come to Korea? Subin replies, I want to make a romance movie titled Jeongsang Love Song. Hearing this, Lee Jae is left shocked. In the next scene, we see Yoojin practicing his acting. He goes from one agency to another, delivering his profile. Then he arrives at another agency where Kang is standing. Kang notices him and recognizes him. Yoojin introduces himself and gives him his profile. Kang says, I know you. We worked together once. At that time, your CEO betrayed all of us, and the company shut down. Yoojin starts insulting him and says, just quit this work. Nothing is going to happen for you. I can tell just by looking at someone how far they'll go. But you don't have that. After that, Kang leaves. Then we see Hannah upstairs watching everything. Later, Hannah comes inside to eat. We meet her mother, whose name is Sway. Kang also joins them. Hannah wants to eat, but Sway stops her and says, leave it. You'll get fat. Last time that dress didn't fit you. You're going to wear the same dress again, and I don't want that scene to happen again. Hannah says, then why don't you just change the dress? But her mother refuses. Hannah tells Kang, I want to go to the salon. Come with me quickly. In the next scene, we see Hannah arriving for a film promotion. Actor Song Yen is with her. Both of them are talking to the media. Song Yen says, I think until now Hannah says that she has dated many people. Song Yen doesn't say anything. However, when he reaches the parking lot, he starts shouting at his manager and says, who does she think she is? How can she say something like that to me? Without her mother, she's nothing. She's just her little girl. But then we see Hannah nearby talking to her mother. She shouts, Song is calling me your little girl. Song gets scared. He comes over to Hannah, but Hannah reveals that there wasn't any phone call. She was just joking. Song runs after her to hit her, but he can't do anything. In the next scene, they are going to shoot more scenes with Subin. Subin and Lee Jae are in the car. Subin tells Lee Jae the story of the fox and the grapes, the same story that Lee Jae had once told him. Subin says that the fox said the grapes were sour and walked away. Lee Jae says, they could have been sour. But Subin replies, whatever the case, the fox should have at least tried. Lee Jae starts talking like a child and says, what if the fox had used a ladder? Even if it had, the ladder was knocked down. Its time was wasted, and it left. It had no other option. But Subin says, the fox could have asked a friend for help. Lee Jae then remembers that once Subin had said, I'll help you. I'll come running for you. Lee Jae then says, but the fox's friend betrayed it, and it couldn't eat the grapes. Subin starts saying, I didn't steal anything. Lee Jae silences him and says, the mic is on. Be quiet. Kang notices the way they are behaving and asks Lee Jae, why are you holding his collar? Lee Jae replies, actually, his button came off. Kang says, okay. Sew it back on later. In the next scene, Lee Jae is sewing the button back onto his shirt while looking at him. She says, I'll sell you the script for this much money. After that, you can leave. Anyway, you only care about the ending, don't you? But Subin refuses and says, I only want to work with you. If you don't want to do that, then that script is nothing but blank pages to me. Lee Jae says, fine. Then Subin says, if you think I stole your dream, then we can do one thing. I can give that dream back to you. I'll even give your boyfriend back. He comes closer and asks, how should I return it? He is about to kiss her and says, we're not in high school anymore. But Lee Jae doesn't want that. She grabs the flowers, hits him with them, and says, you bastard. Then she walks away. Now we see the past scene where Lee Jae keeps coming to Subin's house again and again. She keeps calling him, but Subin never comes outside. This doesn't happen just once. It happens many times. Around 10 to 15 days pass. Lee Jae finally gives up and starts leaving. But then Subin comes to her in the rain. He stops her, gives her an umbrella, and says, I can't come to school anymore. Lee Jae hugs him and says, why? Tomorrow is the exam, isn't it? But Subin says, I'm not going to become a film director. I have to become a doctor, and I'm going to America. But Lee Jae says, you're lying. She shows him the script and says, we wrote this together. The ending is still unfinished. We'll work on it together. But he refuses. Lee Jae hands him the script and says, what are you going to do? I'll wait for you. Then she runs away. In the next scene, she is on the bus, getting ready to leave. She waits for Subin, but he never comes. Later, she gets off the bus. She thinks that Subin must have left for America. She runs to meet him. But her hairband falls to the ground. She comes back to pick it up, but then an accident happens. In the next scene, she is undergoing surgery. Her family is waiting outside. They think that she won't survive and believe that she has died. Later, they come to see her. But Lee Jae is fine. She looks at her family and says, why are you wearing those clothes? I'm still alive. Later, she goes for rehabilitation, practices a lot, and becomes capable of walking again. We return to the present. We see Lee Jae's family watching her show. They notice that Subin is also there and say to themselves, what is Subin doing there? On the other hand, we see Hannah and her mother watching the show as well. Sway says, what is Subin doing on this show? Meanwhile, we see Lee Jae at a restaurant with Yoojin. She tells him what Subin said to her. Yoojin says, okay. You should do it. He's giving your dream back. But Lee Jae says, I don't want it. Yoojin says, you're not miserable. You're amazing. You should value yourself. Didn't you say you wanted to become a film director? But she replies, that's not my dream anymore. Then we go to the TV station, where everyone is watching Subin and Lee Jae's show because it has gone viral. We then see Lee Jae, and her friend comes over and says, I think you know Subin. He must be your first love. But Lee Jae denies it. However, when her friend insists, Lee Jae says, stay quiet. No one should find out about this. Her friend continues and says, so this was a first love reunion. Did he say that he missed you? That he likes you? Just then, Kang calls Lee Jae. In the next scene, she goes to meet him. Kang asks, do you know Subin? But she denies it. Kang says, I saw both of you talking in the editing room for 2 hours. Then Lee Jae admits, yes. I've known him since school. Kang says, that's great. Then bring him to our shop before another agency signs him. But Lee Jae says, I can't do that. Kang replies, if you do it, you'll get your own slot. You have to bring him. If you fail, don't come back to Seoul. He's in Bunam village right now. In the next scene, Lee Jae arrives at Bunam village. She stands outside Subin's house. At first, she wants to knock on the door but doesn't. She starts walking away, gathers her courage, comes back, and knocks on the door. She goes inside, but Subin is standing there and accidentally throws water on her.